NFC side of things, but let's hang on Rodgers and the quarterbacks within the AFC, shall we? We have moved to the wall. Not north of the wall, just the wall, okay?
So we make our playoff picks, Jamie? Is it time? Is this it?
Don't freak
Are those
me
all
out.
your picks?
No!
Wow, those are good.
Don't back me into a corner, okay? I'm not prepared. All right, let's go top of the food chain for the quarterbacks in the AFC. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert, and Aaron Rodgers. You have to pick a quarterback on the wall right now who has the most riding on the 2025 season. Manti, you go first because Kyle's
Well, it's a great group of quarterbacks first and foremost. But if I had to pick one, guys, it's got to be Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens. You can't tell me that when you look at this roster that the Ravens didn't go all in on this thing. Like when I look at from top to bottom, quarterback, running back, O-line, receivers. They add DeAndre Hopkins. You have Zay Flowers that's on a contract year. There's some urgency to his play. You have Mark Andrews, Derrick Henry. Then defensively, you have that front that's always going to be disruptive. Roquan Smith is still the general there. And then that secondary guy, I said it yesterday, Jair Alexander likes to do that seatbelt little celebration. Guys, buckle up your seatbelts because they're strapping up all wide receivers, and they're going to need it because they have some really good wide receivers in that division with the Bengals. So I think when I look at the Baltimore Ravens, this is something where I'm like, okay, Lamar, like this is it. Right, this is the time you make that push. There's no excuses at this point. Like it's on you. We have all the pieces surrounding you, not only on the offensive side but on the defensive side to complement you. This is it for me. So it's got to be Lamar Jackson.
You only get so many shots. You know what I'm saying? But look, Josh is the same way. These two guys play in the season opener.
Yep.
How many whacks at the pinata do you guys get? If you're healthy, you're prime, you got a great team. But that's not my answer because if we just walk down the line here, listen, sure, lots to prove. All these guys I'm walking past, like, they're pretty young. Like, they got a lot of years left. And then hit the brakes. Look at old Graybeard up there, who we don't even have a shot of him in uniform. He's got a headset like he's a coach, but he's older than most of the coaches. I mean, this is the guy. Is this the last season? Is this the last ride? Is Aaron Rodgers, first ballot Hall of Famer, the best player I've ever seen play the position down to down? Is he going to end this career with like 2 duds? I would hate that. The Jets thing was an abject failure. After the injury, they didn't win any games. He was cut. Aaron Rodgers was cut by the New York Jets. Is this it? Are we going to like whimper to some 7-10 finish and then he says, I'm just retiring to Malibu? Or does he have one last ride? Does he mount up that thing and say, hi-ho silver, and starts chucking it around to DK, and they're running, they're playing defense, and this guy's back in the playoffs? It's such a perfect mosaic we have here. All these young studs in their prime, and then just an unshaven, actual gray beard looking like, if you didn't know football, you'd be like, why is that coach up there? That's not a coach. That is the starting quarterback for the Steelers. I don't want to see him end with 2 duds. The Jets thing, let it be a distant memory. He ended on a crescendo, and the Steelers mattered. He's got to play well for it, though.
It is true. You could throw one more quarterback up here, and those could be your 7 AFC playoff teams, and you'd feel quite comfortable with that.
Who would that one quarterback be?
I don't know.
Team,
I'm not
Come on,
giving it to you.
Come on.
Stop it. Thing during week 1. You turn on the TV, and then they lose the remote and the couch cushions, okay? You hate when that happens, but it happens. Who is that one quarterback that you just want that channel locked in on for week 1,
okay?
So
if the remote has to get lost, it's on this channel.
It's on this channel. Which one would it be?
I would just have it on RedZone. I see them all. Right, Scott
Hansen.
More countdowns from Scott. We're almost there.
Which one are you watching?
Well, when I look at all of these quarterbacks, there's one quarterback when I see on this list. It reminds me of OBJ. Like, the reason why I bring up OBJ is when OBJ did that one-handed catch against the Cowboys, all of a sudden everybody's practicing these one-handed catches.
Still.
Patrick Mahomes, when he joined the NFL and he started to sling that thing with that sidearm, now all of a sudden I'm seeing all of these quarterbacks have this sidearm sling, the way that he throws the ball and the way that he's able to do things week in and week out. On this very play, left-handed throw, like, this is somebody, guys, that I can just sit back and watch. Not only the way that he commands the offense, but how he throws, how he improvises. Oh, let me just toss this to Edwards-Helaire. Let me just do all of these fantastic things that, as a kid, screw the remote in the couch. Throw it in the trash. I don't care. Just throw that thing away because as long as 15 is quarterback, guys, it is going to be a highlight play every single year, every single play, every single game. So if I had to watch one quarterback out of all these, and they're great quarterbacks, trust me, it's got to be Patrick
The
Mahomes.
beauty of your pick is that you then get to lock in on Herbert as well, because those two play on Friday night in Sao Paulo, and you'd have your YouTube remote, because I think the game's on YouTube, so like it's all good. That's a good pick.
Only does one kind of season. Well, two. He does the title game season or the Super Bowl season. There's no other kind.
Yeah.
You never just show up and be like, we lost in the divisional. Well, we don't do that. That's beneath us. That's why he's compelling. But I'm going to walk down the line again. If I can only watch one, I'm going to specify it for this year. In fact, this week. So I feel like for most of these guys up here, I genuinely know what I'm getting as a product from them and their team. Yes, Josh. Yes, Lamar. I'll be back to you in a second. Mahomes, even Herbert. I feel really confident even in the Aaron Rodgers Steelers. The Steelers just wash, rinse, and repeat. Come on back here, big boy. Hey, what the hell is this team? What is the Bengals this year? I know Burrow's good. What does the offense look like? It's just like, it's very rare that you see all this money to him and all this money to two wide receivers. It's like we're expecting them to hit 60 points every single week. And also, is the defense that bad? The Bengals defense would be like a Jay Leno monologue punchline. It's like it's just everybody makes fun of them. They can't do anything. They can't stop anything. Do they have to score 60 points each week? Do they matter? I don't really care who the Bengals are playing each week. They're opening against the Browns. I don't care if it's the Browns. It could be Brown University. I don't care. I want to see him versus Joe Flacco just for the sake of seeing him out there. The offense, the most expensive I can think of just in the wide receiver quarterback room. And is the defense really that bad? What if the Bengals defense shows up and starts cracking skulls this year? What if they are actually good? What if the Hendrickson-Stewart pass rush works? What if they're good and he starts throwing interceptions? I don't know. I just am so intrigued. Most of these teams, I feel like I have a good sense of what they're going to be this year, Jamie.
Yeah.
The Bengals, let me ask you this. This is rhetorical. Don't answer. Do you have the Bengals as a playoff team this year? And I'm not necessarily asking Manti and Jamie. You at home. Are they just an easy choice? Oh, Burrow's great. I know Burrow's great, but it's more complicated than that. I'll put it this way. The Bengals are one of those teams that I stayed up late at night thinking about. I only got 7 AFC spots. A lot of good players up there.
Yep.
Are the Bengals in the 2025 playoffs? Because they weren't last year. That's the question, and that's why I'm interested in them, because I don't know.
Why do they keep you up at night, though? Hey, Manti, let's pretend the Bengals keep you up at night, too.
Yeah.
Why would someone be concerned with the Bengals? Is it the play of Joe Burrow? I would think not, after what we saw last year. Is it their defense? Is it the division that they lie in? What is it that makes you feel that way
For
about
me, it's the defense. Like you can't outscore teams in the NFL. There's just no way in the world can
Last year, leading passer, leading receiver, and leading sacker did not make the playoffs.
Did not make the playoffs.
That's almost unheard of.
And guys, in the preseason, they couldn't stop the run at all. Like all 3 weeks, they could not stop the run. Now, it's one thing to not stop the pass, but when you can't stop the run, guys, open the floodgates. It's over. Yeah. So when I see that Bengals defense, obviously my brother KB chose Shamar Stewart as his defensive rookie of the year. So there's some hope.
Why not?
There's some hope there. But no matter who you have at quarterback, guys, the guy threw for a gazillion yards. Jamar Chase is number one in everything. Guys, they still didn't make the playoff. Defense wins championships, KB.
I know. I don't know what to do with them yet.
I hear that.
And I have to pick soon.
You have to pick next.
I know.
So there's 6 AFC quarterbacks up there, but the number 7 is just it's in our brains right now. If you had to put a 7th AFC face up there, I'm thinking that next-gen quarterback, if you will. You already do? Because I was going to list a couple of them off for you as your options. Your Drake Mays, your Trevor Lawrence.
I mean, you said 7. He wears number 7, Jamie. C.J. Stroud, come on.
It.
Like, he'd be up there. He'd be up there. I would put C.J. Stroud up there. That defense, D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
You got that run game. You got Collins. I would put C.J. Stroud up there.
I feel like a lot of Stroud's adulation that we've given him was taken a lot by the rookie class that came after him. Jaden jumped up and was good. We like talking about May and Nix and all those guys in the AFC. Whereas C.J. Stroud's like, I just am in the playoffs every year, and I had a prolific rookie year. I bounced back my sophomore year. I'm really good. But there's so many shiny objects in the AFC. We're like, we know you're good, but we're looking at Allen and Lamar.
We need that extra thing. Yeah.
For him to really crash the club, like, we got to get to a title game this year. We got to really do something special because the AFC is just so cool already. It's tough to break in.
Was that going to be the one that you said?
I was, yes.
Oh, okay.
So do we think that C.J. Stroud kind of gets that little back pass because of the division that he's in?
Maybe.
The AFC South, right?
It's sucks.
Because we look at all of these guys like AFC East, AFC North, AFC West, and then we see AFC South, right?
Yeah.
When it looks like the quarterbacks, like there are multiple quarterbacks in all of these divisions. We're like, I could watch this guy. Watch this guy.
We got this guy up here. I think he threw 13 interceptions to the Texans in the playoffs.
Yeah.
He didn't throw interceptions all year.
Right.
And they showed up in the playoffs, and the Texans wrapped him up. So Texans love out of nowhere.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
Will they get the love in the playoff prediction segments, though? Welcome to our ice cream parlor. We call it 32 flavors, and you can have anybody you want. You can have a double scoop. But is that really true? Can you have anybody you want? No, because there are 32 flavors here. But I'm going to go first, and all of my friends here on the set, we're going to choose only 14 flavors for 14 playoff teams in the 2025 NFL playoffs. As you see, all the helmets are here. What I'm going to do first is I'm going to select the helmets of the division winners in the AFC. I'm going to pick it up, and I'm going to walk over here on the table and put it down. Then we'll do wild cards and the NFC. Does everybody follow? I feel like I'm playing the bongos. This is really fun. I'm excited for you guys.
You got it.
All right. AFC, here are my division winners. I'm going to start, because I feel like it, in the West. The AFC West. A lot of heat in the West. A lot of important, famous coaches, and a lot of this. Let's not just mess around. It continues. I have due respect for the Broncos and the Raiders and the Chargers, but they have won about 50 division titles in a row, and the Kansas City Chiefs will continue. No hot take from me. I go with the Chiefs. Next, in the AFC North. Right here, baby. Right here. I'm chalk.com on my first two picks. The Baltimore Ravens roster is ridiculous. Their quarterback is ridiculous. As I've said many times, this is a one-topic team. There's not much to talk about this team other than will they win enough games in January? Will they play February football? Is this the year the Baltimore Ravens win the AFC North? Shall we get to, the AFC East? Now, here's where it gets spicy.
Okay.
Here's where it gets really spicy. No, I'm going right here. Fake out, Bills again. More T-shirts. What do these T-shirts, the division championship T-shirts, mean for the Bills? Not much, really, at this point. They're kindling. You can make a fire with them. They don't amount to much, but they do get another one this year. AFC East better, and we'll get to that later. But again, I have kind of the big three here in the AFC. Are you falling asleep? This is my deal. I don't care. I'm not going to go for ones just to blow your hair back. I'm going to go with my gut. And if you think that's stock, as we go to the AFC South, you're in for a surprise. Because in the AFC South, no, I have these guys. I have the Texans again. Sorry, Jamie was just rubbernecking like, oh my God.
What are you
how
doing?
Someone looks at a car accident. No, this is just a nice stretch limousine careening down the freeway in Houston to a division title. So there we have it, guys. Those are my four division winners. Great television? Maybe not. Great football teams? Absolutely. But now let's get to the sweet stuff. My AFC wild cards. Okay. A couple of these teams people are not going to have. I've said this many times, and I give it as advice to other people in sports media. If you are pulling your hair out about what teams to choose for the playoffs, you just can't decide. Look at the coach, and then look at the quarterback. Coach, quarterback. Don't worry about it. Don't look at stupid strength of schedule, blah, 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 blah. Coach and quarterback. LA and Chargers. I have the Chargers with an AFC wild card. I trust Jim Harbaugh implicitly as a coach. I trust Justin Herbert's talent. I know they lost an offensive tackle. This team amounts to more than one injured lineman. Chargers, playoffs. Next. All right. The game of bingo is very, very difficult. If you go to the rec hall with your kids or your grandparents, it's very difficult to win. But here's what's great about bingo. There's a free space right in the middle that everybody gets. And the free space looks like this. Oh. The Steelers are your free space in bingo. Come with me right over here. I can just leave this on the table for my picks next year. You don't have to move it. In fact, I should leave it there for my friends who are going to go later, too, because this is the easiest pick on the board. Last pick in the AFC. Getting a little thin here. The herd's getting a little thin.
Okay.
All the AFC teams up in the front. So think about this, Jamie. There's some really good teams up here in the AFC.
Well, yeah. I mean, you just talked about the Cincinnati Bengals. You love Cam Ward.
I do love Cam Ward. This team is loaded.
Yes.
Fresh there.
Fresh, yeah.
I believe that the offensive rookie of the year is going to play quarterback for this team.
Yep.
Guys, what did I say? What did I just say? Coaching and quarterback. Coaching and quarterback. Oh! Coaching and quarterback. I believe in Drake May as ascending, and you know I believe in Mike Vrabel. He is coming there to kick some ass and chew some bubble gum, and we're all out of bubble gum. The New England Patriots, welcome back. as we watched the Tar Heels put on a very entertaining game last night. Welcome back the Pats to the playoffs. Foxborough, good morning. You're in the AFC playoffs. Well, I'm only halfway done. Guys, you react. So let me stop talking.
I had to turn your table myself and just take a good long gander. So your division winner's over here. Yep. You were right. It was a little chalky. I was worried about the dust in here.
I got 4 seeds.
We were banging erasers together. We saw the dust flying. All right. But I enjoy your wild cards, Kyle.
The wild cards, they were
You're
wild.
You're picking with an awful lot of confidence, my friend.
They're called wild cards. All right?
They're wild, brother.
They're not calm cards, all right? They're wild cards. And I got 1, 2, 3. Now let's go to the National Football Conference. Here we go. Manti, your takes in my very serious picture.
I was surprised.
Manti, I hate it if you want to. I don't
care. Broncos wasn't on your list.
Yeah.
That is what I thought you were going to grab the Denver Broncos on the 7th. When you grabbed the Patriots, when you said quarterback, coach, I was like, I only could think of one team, and it was the Denver Broncos. I love this segment, KB. Patriots.
Listen, wow. As I say each and every year, there are teams that I genuinely really like. I don't have a space for you. It's not that I don't like you. It's that I only got 7. There's no room at the inn. Like Mary and Joseph, I'm sorry, I have to turn you away. I hate that I have to do it, but I do. NFC, here we go. Division winners in the National Football Conference. NFC East, Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles. I like what some of these other teams have going on. I don't like that Dallas traded their best player right before the season, but I'm going to go over here. Come on, fly, Eagles, fly. We're in Mount Laurel, New Jersey. They can probably hear us at the link. Shout out to all the Eagles fans at the local Wawas. All right, let's go from the NFC East. Let's go to the NFC South. This team, I feel, has a very, very, very good chance to win the Super Bowl. And I'm not kidding. And I'm gonna go right here. The Tampa Bay Bucks.
My.
This could be the year. I really think they have a lot of very special ingredients. Tampa Bay, you win the NFC South. I love you. Next, NFC West. NFC West. I see it over here. I see a gold helmet. I see a beautiful sterling blue helmet. Still feels like the Best Buy color scheme, but that's okay. You know who I think is going to win the NFC West? Would you like to know?
Yeah.
Would you like to know? Boom! The Seattle Seahawks.
What?
I've got the Seahawks winning the West. The Seahawks, 10 wins last year. Yes, quarterback change, but I like how they play defense. I like they run the ball. This is not going to be a popular pick. I know there are Niners fans wondering what drug I'm on right now. Just the drug of football. I love it. Seattle Seahawks, your NFC West champions. And next, God, these segments, guys, you got a carbo load for these things. My God, can I get like some sort of intravenous fluids or something? All right.
NFC North.
NFC North. Such a good division. With so much change and so much unproven, you have to go with what is solid and established. No, you don't. Bear down! Bear down! Ben Johnson is going to work. Caleb is going to work. It's all going to work. It is a knife fight in the NFC North, and I believe that the Chicago Bears, the pride and joy of Illinois, will win the NFC North in 2025. Believe it. Own it. This is real. This is happening. Bam! Wild cards.
Oh, man, Kyle.
Wild cards.
Man.
What do you guys think? All right, hold on.
Stretch it out, KB. Stretch it out,
you
KB.
Got some you have your
KB,
beloved.
you came with some heaters, KB.
You have your beloved Rams you have to address. You love Dan Campbell, and you're kind of a Dan Quinn guy. Kyle, what are you doing? There's only 3 spots left.
I know. You know, in the marathon, you run past those little tables with the drinks.
Yes.
Like, where are those kids handing me? When I get some honey or something to eat that crap, I need some
How
of that
about Snickers?
At least we only have a couple hours of show left. All right, NFC wild cards. NFC wild cards. Let's get this over with. Come on,
okay.
Come on. You're coming to the party. You're coming to the mosh pit. All right? The memory remains. Understand this. Guys, whiskey in the jar will be celebrating when they get to the playoffs, but it is a little bit back from last year. I think the Lions matter. I think Dan Campbell's a great coach. I do not think he's the product of his coordinator, even though one of them is going to win the division right over here. Next, NFC wild card. I did not have this team in my playoff picks. I did not a week ago.
Oh my gosh.
The Packers. I got the Packers. Quiet, and then boom. They add Micah Parsons, Matt LaFleur, too good of a coach, too many weapons, too many good players. It's very difficult to see this team, even with the Bears and the Lions in the playoffs, not getting enough wins. And guys, the last one is easy. It's a very simple pick, and it's right. No, it's right here. The Rams. You always take the Rams. Here's my level of conviction in the Sean McVay Rams. You want to know how much I believe in Sean McVay? If they were to tell us tomorrow that Matthew Stafford is out for the season, I would pick McVay to get a wild card with Garoppolo. That is my level of belief in Sean McVay, and it should be yours too. Look up 2 years ago when no one said they were going to the playoffs, and they still went. The Rams are in the wild card, which means some really good teams are not. Guys, start talking so I can stop.
Well done, KB. Well done. So you have, out of the West, the NFC West winning Seahawks, the Seattle Seahawks. Kyle, that one spooked us because you waited till the very last reveal of the LA Rams.
Yeah.
It feels as though Kyle was influenced by the headline of the Micah Parsons arrival in Green Bay. And but don't worry.
It's time, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
it's time for my prediction week when it comes to the playoffs. Now, Kyle Brandt got us on the fairway, and he did a great job. It's my turn to get us on the green.
All right.
I'm going to start with the AFC playoff picture. I'm going to start with my division winners. Now, buckle up,
okay?
Because it's going to be different. Okay. Now, we talk about a free space on this card, right? We're talking about that free space. I'm going to start with the AFC East. For me, let's just keep it simple, guys. Let's make the layup.
Okay.
Let's get the Buffalo Bills in there. MVP, pretty much the same team from last year, but I got an X factor. There's a lot of talk about Ben Johnson and him being an offensive coordinator. Joe Brady, guys, his name has been swirling around in head coaching discussions for some time now. So I got the Buffalo Bills at the AFC East.
All right.
Okay. Now let's go to the AFC North. A team that is stacked, a team that is ready, a team that has MVP too. We're just going to get these MVPs out of the way.
Put them in.
Baltimore Ravens.
Great pick.
One of the best defenses in the NFL this year. I love them. I'm going to be watching them, and I know you'll be watching them too. Layup. Baltimore Ravens, AFC North. Now, AFC South.
What do you got in the South?
We got the South. We got some South here. We have some South there.
Yep.
Well, we're going to go all the way over here to Houston, where we have C.J. Stroud going into his third year. I'm a big fan of C.J. Stroud. I love C.J. Stroud. I love what they have going over there. I love DeMeco Ryans. I love their defense. Love, 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 love. I love them so much that they're going to go right here. Now, for the division that I think is going to get spicy.
AFC West.
See? AFC West. KB chose the Chiefs.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of guys over here that we could choose from. See, we're like, boom, 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 boom. For the first time
What do you got?
in 10 years, the Denver Broncos are your AFC West champs. Sean Payton will lead the Denver Broncos and that nasty defense to the AFC West championship the first time in 10 years.
Just makes me want to say Talanoa Hufanga.
Hufanga.
You got to love that. Okay. Now for the wild card.
All right, you get three.
The wild card. I just said it, guys, that the AFC West, to me, is it's the toughest division in football. And when these guys here get into the playoffs, don't let them in there. You want to know the recipe for stopping this team? Do not put this team on the table, but I'm going to put them there for you, okay? Because these guys, this is another free space. I have a lot of free spaces on this table.
Yes.
These guys can go anywhere. They're right here.
2 spots left.
Chiefs. 2 spots left.
This is when it gets tough, Manti. Only 2 left.
This is where it gets tough. It gets really tough. But you know, when you have a coach that has won in college, has won in the pros, is really good at playing nasty football. And Joe Ortiz, me and Jamie Erdahl was over there in LA, and Joe Ortiz got a type.
Yeah.
There's some big human beings over there.
Yeah.
It's going to be bully football. I remember playing Stanford with Jim Harbaugh was there and trying to hit Toby Gerhart.
Yeah.
That's what it's like for the LA Chargers. LA Chargers, you are there. All right.
I love that Toby Gerhart got a shot out this.
Yeah, Toby Gerhart.
I love it.
The guy,
Toby.
Goal.
Okay. Buddy.
All right. Now, I sent a text. I said it earlier in the show.
Manti's panic looking for a helmet right now.
Yeah.
I sent a text at 9:38 a.m. PM. See, I'm ready to get
This
that.
is PM. That's that nighttime.
That there were 2
this is
teams.
tough. All right, this is tough. Do it. What do you got?
And at 9:35, I read 2 articles. One, that a corner had a hamstring injury, and 2, that they were still undecided at safety. And because of that, I got the Steelers. The Steelers, you are in the playoff. You are my 7th seed in the playoff, Steelers. Steel Nation, I got you. I know your defense got you. I don't know what the offense is going to look like just now, but I know what that defense is going to look like, and I have full confidence there. There it is, guys.
Go ahead, Jamie.
There's
All right,
the AFC
Manti.
playoff picture.
I was quite comfortable, and I really liked your sell on the Denver Broncos. I didn't know it had been 10 years. That's pretty wild. Makes sense because Patrick Mahomes has been around for that long, exactly. I understand why you did what you did. I respect it, Manti. I honestly see no issues.
We have, I wouldn't be me if I didn't be this guy. No Bengals.
You always do this.
No Raiders.
Ooh.
No Patriots. You had them up there at the end. But we've gone through 1.5 sections now. Neither one of us have the Bengals in. We're 0 for 2. But Manti, you have work to do in the NFC. You're only at the 50-yard line.
Well, now I know why you have to walk around a little bit,
I know.
KB.
Don't cramp. Don't cramp up.
I need some pickle juice or something.
Sure.
Okay, NFC. It is hard not to go straight to the Super Bowl champs and put them. So we're just going to get the layups out. Okay?
NFC East.
Yeah.
NFC East, Philadelphia Eagles. We're here in Philly. We love Philly, and I love you. You are here. NFC East champs, Philly. NFC South. Now, I think there's one clear leader in the NFC South. I love Baker Mayfield. I love everything that he's doing over there. I love Micah Parsons coming out of Ohio State. He just changed his number, but he ain't going to change the fact that these guys are going to be the NFC South champs.
Okay.
Again, I got the Tampa Bay Bucks. They're coming out. Now, NFC East. Oh, I did. NFC West.
Yeah, NFC West.
Okay, KB, you chose the Seahawks.
I chose the Seahawks to win the West. Yes, I did.
You hit a curve.
I did.
Well, I'm going to throw a heater. Why? Because there's going to be a lot of heat.
To win the West. Awesome.
Next door to our building in LA at that stadium called SoFi, I love Sean McVay. I think that offense over there with Matt Stafford, Puka Nacua, Kyron Williams, Devontae Adams, nasty. I got the LA Rams as the NFC West champs. Now, this is where it gets interesting.
3 wild cards.
The North.
The North.
Take them to the North, Manti. Take them. Now, this hurts me to say this because I get PTSD, Jamie. I get PTSD from these guys. But score, baby! Score! I got the Vikings winning the NFC North. Guys, what Kevin O'Connell does with this team, what he does with quarterbacks, and what J.J. McCarthy has done through, I know he hasn't played a snap, guys. He won IMG Academy in Florida, high school, national champ. He won at Michigan, national champ. And he's going to be the NFC North champs with the Minnesota Vikings.
That's
I got them. Okay.
Manti.
3 left, Manti.
Woo! It's halftime. But we got to go. I love these helmets right here. They're new.
It's matte.
They're matte. They're not shiny object. They're just going to beat you through the air, on the ground. I love Jaden. I love that they got Debo. And Scary Terry is back. I got the Washington Commanders.
All right,
the Washington Commanders are in there.
In.
All right.
Left, Manti. 2 left.
In.
There's a lot of talk nowadays about these offensive coordinators and these fancy little play calling. But there's an old school feel. There's a Bruce Lee quote that says, "I don't fear the man that practiced 10,000 kicks one time. I fear the man that practices one kick 10,000 times." That's Dan Campbell, baby.
All right.
It's not the sword and how you wield it. It's how sharp it is. And guess what? The Detroit Lions over there, they just know something about just execution. Just being very, very fatal in how they strike. They're going to run the ball. They're going to play great defense. And there's going to be a lot of 4th downs that they're going to go for over there in Detroit. I got the Detroit Lions. Now,
Last call.
this was another one.
Time.
This was another one.
Finish your whiskey or beer. Come on.
Or both.
Yeah, come on. Oh, we got Atlanta and San Fran. This is cool.
Guys,
Oh, my.
I had both of these teams.
No, you don't.
But I can only choose one. And then I remembered that somebody's back out on team that had the best defense in the NFL for a few years. Somebody's back on the offensive side that's one of the best running backs in the NFL for some time. And not to mention, they have the weakest strength of schedule.
Okay.
San Francisco!
Nice. Get him in there.
Take them to the Bay.
Get him
Take
in
them
there.
to the bank. I got the San Francisco 49ers as the 7th seed in my playoff picture.
Here we go.
Manti. That's a
Jamie,
list.
you do the good.
Those wild card picks are something, Manti. Proud of you. Proud of you for your delivery. Specifically, I'm proud of your ability to commit and your indecisiveness. That's fantastic. And you know I loved hearing that Galler horn in the middle of that segment. Nice pick.
The Vikings pick was very cool.
Yep.
Just going to call out a couple of things.
Yep.
Very, very popular pick this week is going to be right here. Manti does not have them. We've been through 2 hosts so far. I'm not getting any of this action.
Yep.
They're not going to be in the play. They usually are. But Manti, I thought you did a great mix of like putting yourself out there and then the rock solid foundation.
Yep. All right, we're back at the North Wall, and we're not feeling angry. We're feeling thrilled for these 6 quarterbacks in the NFC. We covered the AFC in the first hour. Go back and start over the show if you need to refresh on that. But let's go to the NFC. You got 6 guys up here: Jalen Hurts, Matt Stafford, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, and Jaden Daniels. Welcome to the club, or at least on this graphic, okay? 2025 season, spin the wheel ahead. Who has the most riding on the 2025 season? Manti.
You know what's so funny about this, Jamie, is in the first hour, like you said, we did the AFC quarterbacks. It's funny when you look at the NFC, it's kind of the same storylines, right? KB did it in the first hour. Electric, young, kind of young, young. And then there's this guy, right? There's not a lot of sand left in that hourglass. So it's like, is this 1 year, 2 year? How many more years do we have with Matt Stafford? Obviously, he has that back thing that we've been talking about all offseason, all preseason. So if I'm going to think of any quarterback on this list that has the most riding, it's got to be Matt Stafford. I love what they did when they signed Devontae Adams, pairing him up with somebody like Puka Nacua, with Kyren Williams in the backfield, running the rock. They just extended Kyren Williams too. So Sean McVay and company really putting their stamp and their foot down on this team, the identity of this team. But again, guys, all of that stuff is great unless you have number 9 at quarterback and Matt Stafford. So the most riding has got to be Matt Stafford, the wily veteran. Again, how many more years do we have of watching this guy throw the rock around the gridiron?
Sure. I feel the stakes are just a little bit unique from the AFC. And I look at all these quarterbacks. When I hear a lot riding, I feel like, man, if they don't really win this year, this could be their last shot.
Yeah.
Or they've never done it before. I don't see a lot of that up here. Even Stafford. I mean, Stafford's a Super Bowl champ. You know, Jared Goff has been to the Super Bowl. He's been deep in the playoffs. I feel like I have to go here.
Yeah.
I was going to go Baker because it would be very cool for him if he made a Super Bowl run and he would change his identity. But, like, how many times are we going to do this with Dak? We've seen all this turnover and, you know, all that goes into being a Cowboy. But it just seems like Dak every year shows up, plays his best. Occasionally he gets hurt, but when he doesn't get hurt, he plays really well, and they never get far in the playoffs, and then you just repeat it next year. There's so much to like about Dak. He's very good. He's a great guy. He makes tons of money, but he's just part of the second conversation, and it's never the first one about A, who's the best quarterback in the NFC, or B, the team that you're really worried about. So, man, imagine if the story of this Cowboys season was actually the Micah thing became not a big factor because Dak Prescott was so good and he just really put the team on his shoulders. And they finally, after 30 years, made it to at least a title game. That changes so much about Dak.
Yeah.
And once he goes to a title game, then it'll all become, but he hasn't been to a Super Bowl. But in the meantime, at least he could change
steps.
it. I mean, even bring it back. Like, give me this steady. Come here. Give me on camera for a sec. He's even like right here on his wrist, if you look really close, it says, "You matter," with an exclamation point. It's all positive. Yeah. I mean, that's a nice message, whether it's to himself or to someone else. There's so much. Look, you got the patch here, the Walker Man of the Year. Yep. He's looking downfield. Everything's so great about him, except how his seasons tend to end. Yeah. So I'm sick of that song. I'd like to hear a new one, and I hope it happens for him.
Well, it's funny you chose Dak, brother, because we're talking about the AFC parallels. Like, if this is Aaron Rodgers, and that's Joe Burrow, right? Like, we're thinking about the Dallas Cowboys and the offense, the questions on defense. Like, they're going to have to score a lot of points over there now that you have CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens, which is the Jamar Chase and T. Higgins. Sure. So it's just, again, the storylines for all of these quarterbacks, when you think about the two conferences, it's very much the same.
Plus, like, if they don't do well, they got a couple of first-round picks out of the deal, too. So you start thinking about the future and some of those names that could be wearing the star.
Those first-round picks are like second-round adjacent to me. Because if the Packers go to the Super Bowl, they're like the 30th or 31st pick. They're first-round picks technically, but I don't know. We'll see.
Same question goes as the first hour. Your kid loses the remote and the couch cushions. You're locked on one single channel.
Yeah.
Week 1, you have an NFC matchup up with one of these quarterbacks in it. Which one are you locked in on? Which one are you picking to watch?
What do you think?
Yeah, it's hard. I mean, you got the Super Bowl MVP. You got the guy that can throw it 1,000 yards. This guy is just amazing. I love Jared Goff. Jaden Daniels. Everybody's going to be watching the Cowboys. But, guys, we had the all-bro team, right? This guy's first-team all-bro for me, Baker Mayfield. Like, if I'm going to sit with my son and I'm going to teach him about football and what it means, just watch Baker Mayfield play. Just watch not only how he throws the ball, but how he blocks for his teammates, the enthusiasm, the charisma. Like, I'm a big fan of Baker Mayfield. Everything that he does, I love him. I love him running the ball, running over linebackers. I love him blocking 50 yards down the field for his running back. Everything about Baker Mayfield says, I love ball, and I love you, Baker Mayfield. So if I had to watch a quarterback and not turn a channel, I would be happy to watch Baker Mayfield. KB, let's get it.
I think Baker could retire today, and he's respected. He's really liked. Does he want something more? I know he does, but he's at this position of his career where if you're going to do something special, I think it's time. Meaning, if you're going to make a Super Bowl run, you're going to take Tampa back to the Super Bowl. You're in your prime. You have the weapons around you. They're not going to be there forever. I feel like the clock is ticking on Baker's window right now. But if I just had to watch one team, Jamie, never mind where we are geographically, or never mind that I don't want to wait a few extra days. I'm going here, and let me tell you why. Just stay with me. I'm going with Jalen Hurts. You guys know there's one thing I want from this season, and it's not who wins or who loses. There's just one thing. It's for the Philadelphia Eagles to take the kickoff, touchback, and for the first offense to come out for the first play of the season and run the tush push. I want it so. I've never wanted something. I'm just going to sit down. I want the Philadelphia Eagles and all their coaches and all their fans and all their players to listen to me. It's petty as hell, and that's why I like it. And I think that pettiness and that vindictiveness is something that is in Nick Sirianni's DNA. It is in something in the Eagles. It's in something in Philadelphia's DNA, going back to our founding fathers who didn't want to pay their taxes. The version of that now is the NFL and this other team said, we don't like that special play you run. We think it's unfair. We think it doesn't appear to look like a football play, blah, 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 blah. Don't wait till you get inside the 5. We know it's coming then. That doesn't send any message. That's business as usual. You know what sends a message? 1st and 10. And all of a sudden, there's Jalen, and he gets up under center, and it's Goddard behind him, and they just run it, and they get 3 or 4 yards. It's a good play. I'm not asking you to take a knee and lose yards. You'll probably get a few yards. But more than that, you'll get your rock star status. You'll get your screw the man, all of that middle finger that really applies to Philadelphia. Run it on 1st and 10, and then go to your normal offense. But do it. It's all I ask. I don't care who wins the Super Bowl. I don't care who wins MVP. I care about what play the Eagles run on their first snap of the season. I don't care where it is on the field. Please, I'm asking you. I think you understand. It'd be really cool.
I just felt like on a day where a lot of kids are back to school, that felt like circle time.
Yeah.
Like we were just sitting on our little tape that had our name on it, listening to Kyle talk about what we hope for, what's on his syllabus for the year.
I'm Kyle, and my favorite food is pizza. And I want the Eagles to run the tush push on the first play of the season.
Yes,
Thank you. Now, Braden, you go, right?
And specifically, if that does happen, Kyle, I already can hear that maniacal cackle that you have when you read highlights. And if that, you would just make a highlight of just that play over and over and over again.
I love petty. I love petty for people who are disrespected, and they were disrespected. Embrace the petty, Nick Sirianni. I don't have to tell you that. Let's set a tone for the season. And this is our league, and we're going to win it again. And here's our little play. First play of the
Best thing about it, we're going to be there live, guys. And I got to sit right next to KB when the whole thing happens. If it happens, oh, my gosh.
I'm running on the field. Yeah. I'm going to get fired. I'm going to get arrested. I'm going to get banned from Lincoln Phi. But I want to be there. And I'm going to run over. I'm going to high-five Nick Sirianni. I'm going to high-five the crap out of him. Nick, I love you.
I feel like you two went down the line a lot. And you spoke a lot about each one of these guys. But you seem to halt here a lot. And
I know.
We did this with the AFC, where we had 6 quarterbacks up there, and I asked for the next guy, the 7th guy, and you both said C.J. Stroud, and you gave some compliments to that. But did we put 6 up there because we were doing 6 with the AFC? Should Jaden Daniels be a part of this group right here, right now. Does that
He's played one season.
He's played one season.
Yeah.
I know he's the offensive rookie of the year, but he's part of a quarterback class that we talk about all the time with Bo Nix and Drake May. Has he already done enough for him to be on this list?
He's done more in that one season. He's gotten farther than the guy next to him's ever gotten in his career.
Yeah, and
Dak, it's no disrespect. It's just a fact.
Yeah.
In 1 year, he was in a title game, poised to be the first rookie ever to win a Super Bowl. It's the best rookie season we've ever seen. So you could say he's got to earn his spurs, but listen, if the scoreboard says he started a title game as a rookie, and that's enough for me.
That's actually a great point, Jamie. It's like, but if you didn't have Jaden Daniels, who would you put in there, right?
You have to have 6. I mean, I understand what we're doing, but the point is.
But what I'm saying is, so if we had to have 6, like, if I'm thinking of the NFC, right? Like, there's Sam Darnold, you got Brock Purdy, like, Brock Purdy, right? So, like,
Brock Purdy.
That's a great point you bring up,
Started a
though,
Super
Jamie.
Bowl.
Yeah.
Started a Super Bowl.
In MVP consideration a few years back, like, I see where I like that, Jamie.
Battled in a Super Bowl.
Moving the thoughts. Moving the thoughts.
Hey, listen, if we're going to go by resume, though, like, we would have Russell Wilson in there. Like that's you know what I'm saying? Like
but,
it's there. I think there's room for 6, and I think our staff does the best job they can.
No, I know.
You gotta have Jaden. This is like the 6 it quarterbacks right now, and by it I mean they inspire conversation, they get you looking. I do think Brock Purdy probably deserves a home on this, but then you got to take somebody out. Who you taking out?
Well, again, guys, it's perfect because it's prediction week. We like all 32. We would love all the quarterbacks up there, but we can only choose 6. So how fitting is that?
Prediction week rolls on GMFB, and I'll be honest with you, because that's all we do here, is I needed a vibe check for this segment, and we rely on each other sometimes. You know, we say, like, hey, help me out with this, or I needed an Angry Run shirt for this segment. I needed an emotion to use as a crutch during my playoff prediction week. I oftentimes panic during things that involve hasty decision-making, but the thing is, this isn't haste. I have been mulling over this for weeks and weeks and weeks. I'm going to kick off my sandals because we're moving on. And I'm going to ask Kyle and Manti specifically, how's your hand-eye coordination? You ready to catch?
Excellent. Yeah.
We're going to work backwards a little bit. I will be getting rid of the helmets that will not be in the postseason for me, okay? And that's no knock on you. It's just that 2025, in my heart, in my brain, in my football-loving spirit, is not your season for the postseason. So,
picks, Jamie.
AFC, we're going to start in the AFC. And first and foremost, while I respect the headlines and all of the obsession that people had with teams like the Jets last year, or Tua, I do love you, and I loved following you in college, it's just not it for the Jets and the Dolphins. But that doesn't mean that these two are still under heavy consideration. And specifically, the Buffalo Bills will be my AFC East division winner.
Okay, Jamie Erdahl.
But you guys can hang out. We're still mulling this over in the AFC. Not yet.
Chilling.
Not yet. They're chilling.
Right.
I'm thinking about the toss. We'll see. All right, let's move on to the AFC North, shall we?
Sure.
Let's do it.
We've talked about them so much this season. Not enough, though, in January, okay? Not enough to qualify them. And, gosh.
Oh, this is tough, Jamie. Who are you reaching for?
We're going to leave that there, okay? We're thinking.
It doesn't mean you have them in the playoffs. It means you don't eliminate them from the playoffs.
No, but the Ravens are in. But that still means I am considering these two, okay? All right, in the South, this one gets a little easier because quarterback changes are hard and, you know, new head coaches, new management, same quarterback who I think is talented. The Jags are my AFC South winners.
Oh!
The Jags are my AFC South winners,
That's a cool
okay?
pick. I like
Thank
that
you
pick.
very much.
Cool
and
pick.
you know what? I do love a young quarterback, but also Titans, you're out. I'm still thinking about the Texans, okay? These are my consideration table, if you will, in the postseason. So I got the Ravens in, the Bills in, the Jags are in. I take you to the West, okay? Gosh, Manti, you and I, we're neighbors now. We're such good buddies. And your sound logic about the Denver Broncos makes them my AFC West champion.
Let's go, Jamie.
These are my 4 division winners right here. You're seeing them on this table right here, okay? North, East, South, and West. And even though Ashton Genty is my offensive rookie of the year, he gone. And you're on my consideration table, you two, okay? So now
call that the wild card table right there.
This is my wild card table, okay?
Yeah.
These are my wild card considerations, okay? Gosh, Kyle, it was a great question you asked about the Bengals. And even though it's fun, they're not in either, okay? So we're moving on from the Bengals. Well done. Thanks for catching them all, Kyle.
Sure.
Gosh, there's this thing that happens on the show. We have the great luck and fortune of being sent to camp in training camp. And Manti and I got to go to the Chargers camp. And big fans, Derwin James, a friend. But the fact that they're in the postseason, these
Don't you dare, Jamie Erdahl.
I was running a different route. We weren't on the same page. Oh, no.
That's a sign, Jamie Erdahl, right there.
These are my 3 wildcard teams that are in, okay?
Awesome.
Let me talk to you about it. Mike Vrabel, new man in town, not that new though, okay? New man wearing the head coach headset in New England. He's done literally all the jobs before, just not this one. And I think he takes them back to the promised land with Drake May at quarterback. This one, I don't know if I'm just drinking the Kool-Aid or what, but this works for the Steelers, okay? I'm a big Mike Tomlin fan, and just the key was missing every once in a while the last couple of seasons. Aaron Rodgers is that guy, and I just want it for the better story. And the Chiefs, you guys are in, all right? So they're my AFC playoff teams. This is my AFC table over here. I got 3 in the wild card. Chargers helmet, I hope you're okay.
It's fine.
2026 will be your season, maybe for me, but this is what my AFC playoff looks like. From front to back, your division winners.
I like the style.
Kyle, what do I not have over there?
All right.
Who's on the ground?
One thing that jumps out is, I guess, listen, no Bengals.
Yeah.
And it jumps out particularly since Manti and I also didn't have the Bengals.
Yeah.
So no Bengals. And then, honestly, Jamie, my personal surprise knowing you,
yes,
the one team I thought you were going to put in is here. Because I know you love Pete, and I know you love the whole deal there. But again, you only have 7 spots.
You know, I'll be honest with you. It was Raiders or Pats. It was the Raiders or the Patriots.
Tough pick.
Yeah. And
there
so
it is, Jamie Erdahl.
Yep. And the Chargers, I'm sorry to toss your helmet. That was unceremonious. That was really.
That was a sign.
But even if they make it, I just don't love how they behave in the first weekend of January. And so, Chargers, it's going to work. It's just not working for me this year. And I like the story better with my 7 teams in the AFC on this side.
All right, Manti, look alive over there in the AFC. They come. It's
watch out. Watch out.
Machine.
Watch out.
Because, we are quickly, all right?
You're like the person fielding punts with 6 balls.
I know, right? So, Arizona Cardinals, even though that is a gorgeous gift that you gave Kyle Brandt.
Yeah, I love that. Thank you.
I know, right? And bear down, but not for me.
Ooh.
So we're just clearing them out. We're getting comfortable with it. We're making sure we have room on the table. But first and foremost, let's talk about how in the West,
Niners out.
In the West, the LA Rams are my West champions, right?
All right,
in the
cool.
NFC West. We're starting easy. We're starting with the team that made it to the NFC title game this year. Emotionally so compelling in January to beat the Vikings in a home game that they had to transfer to Arizona. It was a really, really cool thing, and I'm putting the Rams as my winners in the West. I'm going to leave these guys. I'm not tossing them just yet. They're in my consideration
TBD.
table, okay? Gosh, we flirted with these guys, didn't we?
We love them.
I don't we flirted with these guys.
Damn.
We did. Maybe 2026. Okay?
I like them.
Manti, good catch. That was nerve-wracking.
Oh, yeah.
I know. And you know what? You can have those guys too, okay? So Tampa Bay Buccaneers, you're in. Baker Mayfield, big fan. Big fan. But Bucky Irving, even a bigger fan of Bucky Irving, I think. And the first-round wide receiver to pick. Defense looks great. Todd Bowles, you got this thing working. These guys are my NFC South champions, okay? Now, I know, it's just such an odd storyline to have to consider some of these other NFC East teams. So keep them on the table.
That's the TBD. Wow, Commanders get tossed.
Just like that, huh, James?
Are you going to toss the Eagles?
No.
Oh, okay.
Of course I'm not going to toss the Eagles. Come on.
You can.
I can't, no. There's this crazy stat where some team hasn't repeated in the NFC.
Yeah.
I don't care. I care about who won a Super Bowl last year. I care about who your head coach is, who your quarterback is. I have been watching Jalen Hurts since he was a wee buck in college, in his first college, if you will, in his first undergraduate degree that he earned. He is a remarkable player. And you know what? You're solid, and it's great, all right? It's not fine. It's not, ooh, you're solid. It's awesome, all right? You're my NFC East champions, all right?
Oh, James.
This division gives me so much angst.
This is home. The Lions got tossed! Oh, my God, he's broken in half. Wow.
It's fine. Just like the Chargers, it's fine, okay? 2026. I just have faith in the future. Do you remember what happened to the Eagles a couple of years ago? I love Dan Campbell, but that ain't it for me. NFC North champions.
Oh, the champs!
The champs.
Okay.
The champs. They had that ready to go. This day, November 2nd, 2024, when I got to sound the Gallagher on Sunday Night Football against the Colts. How did that game get flexed? I'll still never understand that. It was incredible, and I could not have the Vikings in as my NFC North champs. You guys are still over here. You guys, these are my NFC wildcard teams right here.
Awesome.
Nice,
awesome,
Jamie.
Awesome.
The Seattle Seahawks, the New York Giants after Brian Daboll wins Coach of the Year in the NFL, and the Green Bay Packers. You're in. Those are my NFC wildcard teams. These are my NFC title winners for the division, and that is what I am looking at for my 14 playoff teams. Whew, the tossing was stressful.
Great job.
Great job, Jay.
It raised the blood pressure, but it felt good to just, clear them from your system. Those are the decisions that I made.
Great job. I think what jumps off the screen right away from that is the Giants. That's not going to be a pick that a lot of people make, but you also had Brian Daboll as your Coach of the Year pick.
Yep.
Just take the floor for a second. The 2025 Giants, why do you believe in them?
Mostly because of the head coach. And I actually think there are certain times in a football organization's lifespan that desperation breeds success. And I think this is a desperate time for a head coach, for a manager, for the quarterback room as a whole. I think there's something special there with it. Honestly, to me, doesn't matter who's playing. It's the spirit that you're seeing within it. That defense for New York is so good. They're so good that I think they're going to beat up on more teams than any one of us can appreciate. And if that quarterback room can just hold steady with each other the way we've seen it in the last month or two, I think the Giants are in hanging on by their teeth. I think they're in.
I did flirt with the New York Giants right here. I did. I am more captivated by the graveyard. I'm going to call this the graveyard. Jamie Erdahl's graveyard on both sides.
Man.
There's a lot of talent in the graveyard over here, James.
There's a lot of turnover in the league. You better hope so, because we got the Commanders not in. I also didn't have them in.
Yep.
You have the Lions out. I mean, even these two right here, these are like staples.
I know.
What's that song? Silver and gold. Nope, not this year.
Nope.
Not going to be a Merry Christmas.
Purple and yellow,
James.
that's what we're looking at. All right, those are our teams. We each got 14 in.
Now, Jamie and Manti and myself, we have all gone through the entire league. This is the AFC here, the NFC here, and we have picked the 14 teams that we think will make the playoffs in 2025.
Yep.
Good news. I looked on social media. Everybody loves our picks. They
Perfect.
picked very sensible responses. Yep. Even the teams that didn't get their team picked, they're like, I can see what you were doing there.
Well, since you filtered that response for me, I'm not going to check. So thank you.
Jamie, they universally like your picks.
Great.
So great job.
Great job, Jay.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
there's a new thing developing now. You see it everywhere in the media, and it is artificial intelligence, and it's constantly being used in every different facet of life. So we thought we would incorporate it into Prediction Week, the show.
Yeah.
So we have a new co-host for the week. He came from the broadcast boot camp. Jerry Madelon's been coaching him up like crazy.
Talented.
Yeah.
His name is Axel Ingram, okay? And Axel is our AI host. Now, this is not just some dumb shtick we're doing. It might be, but in addition, we actually put these queries into AI and to see what it would kick back as the playoff teams. So, Axel, I'm glad that you're here. What we're going to do now is we're going to ask you for first, give us your AFC division winners. It'll be 4 teams in the AFC. The floor is yours. Your AFC division winners, Axel Ingram.
Starting with the AFC, I think you can count on the Kansas City Chiefs to still be there. They always stay strong as long as Magic Mahomes is leading them.
Cool.
I'd also
Magic
say the
Mahomes.
Baltimore Ravens have a shot.
Okay.
They've been consistent, and their defense is looking strong. Then let's add the Buffalo Bills. Well, because Josh Allen is still a force on the field. And for some fun, sneak the Tennessee Titans in there with their new rookie quarterback Cam Ward leading the charge.
Axel!
Axel, you just earned my respect. Guys, Axel's just had a moment.
Yep.
I will always remember when he picked the Titans. That was really cool.
None of us chose the Titans.
No.
Okay, Axel.
We're all kind of,
Yeah.
Fine. Titans.
AI.
Axel, my guy.
AI is the only one to put the Titans in.
Okay, Axel.
You know, like you have your welcome to the NFL moment? That was like a welcome to GMFB moment for Axel.
Good
Great
job, Axel.
I'd kiss you on your big metal lips. Yeah!
Okay. I like you even more.
Michaels. All right, here's what we're going to do now, Axel. If I could trouble you for this. Let's just stay hot.
Okay.
Give us, if you will, Axel, your 3 AFC wild card teams, big boy.
Rounding out the AFC, I'll go with the Los Angeles Chargers, who might finally put things together. The Cincinnati Bengals, because Joe Burrow is always a playoff threat. And let's throw in the New York Jets as a surprise wild card team. Maybe this is the season they break their playoff drought.
Hey, that's my guy. That's my robot right there. Artificial.
That's a good
otherwise.
boy.
He's flesh and blood right now.
Yeah, no kidding.
I love it.
No.
Oh, my gosh.
No, there is nothing that gets to Kyle's heart faster than not being chalk. And this is not chalk. This is
you know what makes you a human being, Jamie? Having some stones to say Jets. He said Jets. Axel, my guy. This is incredible.
Okay, Kyle, I'm telling you, as we all do, the big fear is if he is a lot more right than the rest of our kids. Those three wildcard teams, we each don't have the Bengals in. The three of us humans don't have the Jets in, and the three of us humans don't have the Titans in at all, and he's got them winning the division.
Basically, what we're saying is if the Titans win the division, the machines are taking over. NFC, so let's clear some space. And Axel, you just stay hot, baby. You're like a pitcher in the dugout. We're just going to leave you alone.
Axel, I think Kyle's starting to like you a little bit.
I know.
He was arguing with you yesterday. I think he's starting to like you a little bit.
But you bounce back, and I totally respect you, bro. We'll hang out afterwards. We'll plug you in and charge, and I'll have beers. Everything's great. All right, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to indulge me, Axel. Give me the entire NFC playoff slate. I'm talking about all the division winners and all the wild carders in one full swoop. And I ask you to do it because I know you can. You're a pro. Go ahead.
Now over in the NFC, I think the San Francisco 49ers are a good call. They've been a powerhouse, and they've got a solid foundation. The Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles will be back in the mix, too. The Detroit Lions have been on the rise, and I can see them making it back to the playoffs. And we can add the Dallas Cowboys because they always demand a way into the conversation. And for the rest of the NFC, I predict the Green Bay Packers. Of course, they get in there. The Seattle Seahawks make a return, and maybe the Atlanta Falcons surprise everyone
put the Falcons
and snag a playoff spot out of the NFC South. So there you go, a nice mix of familiar faces and a couple of fun surprises in both conferences.
Axel.
Well done. Stuck it.
Axel.
So he threw out 7 teams. Just to review quickly, Niners, Eagles, Lions, and Packers as division winners. And then there you go. We have the Packers as a wild card. My mistake. He has the Falcons as a division winner in the South, which is very, very cool. And guys, America's team is the Machines team, the Dallas Cowboys. But what do you got? What do you got as the snubs?
I'm holding my shock helmet right here, and we all have the Rams in, I believe, the three of us.
I do,
and Axel does not.
Axel does not.
We asked AI to put. We legitimately plugged it in, and he did not put the Rams in the postseason.
Incredible.
The Bucks. You got the Vikings.
Come on,
Jamie.
Do you?
That's right.
You,
I
Axel?
understand.
The Commanders.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah.
So, Axel, you take the mic. How do you feel right now, having made your picks?
Holy Toledo!
Okay.
I mean,
so from my grandparents' vernacular, holy Toledo.
Maybe that's why he put the Bengals in. You know.
Hey, Axel, 6'7". You got to learn the 6'7". All right. So Axel left out a couple of the mainstays. He left out the Rams. He left out the Steelers.
Yep.
But I'm very impressed. I feel like this worked. What do you think?
I think it was great.
The three of us have more similar picks. He is really out on a limb, and he's going with his gut, which is all made of wires and a computer chip.
This is a gamble because if he is accurate, I think he just swept us, guys. If he's accurate, you know what I mean? Like there's some guys that Jamie was chucking from the beginning that he has on the table.
Yeah. Wow. I kind of need some of his confidence and gusto.
He's laughing at us. He's laughing. He's laughing at our picks. But you know what? I saw some of your picks, Axel. We'll see. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. Keep laughing. We'll see at the end of the season. But I'm proud of you, buddy.
Congratulations.
You became sort of human today.
His play speaks for itself. His name speaks for itself. I feel like the sky's the limit for him. The sky's the limit for our defensive line group. And just can't wait to see him go.
In my perspective, officers can't focus on one type of blitzer, one type of pass rusher. We got guys coming from both sides. We got RG. Now we got him. Just everybody on the defensive side of the ball. So
he's good, man. For real, we're gonna be rushing that quarterback, man. I'm just thankful to God, cause I'm gonna just catch him when it's thrown to me.
This storyline, the Micah Parsons news, it does almost feel like now we can take a collective exhale, be like truly understand what this all means. His trade to the Packers, his injury, and what are we most looking forward to seeing from him wearing that Packers uniform, Manti?
Well, you can take a deep breath, but don't exhale fully. I mean, if you have that back issue, I think that's something that's scary because, I mean, if he's having to get injections like that before the game, guys, I don't know where we're at on this scale of panic meter, but when you have to get injections before the game, I've had to take anti-inflammatories at times, but when you're in the injection stage, that's eyebrow raising.
And not just any. Listen, the word epidural, it hits different when it comes to pain that people experience. The pain in which requires most commonly an epidural is childbirth. So what are we looking at when it comes to Micah Parsons?
Well, what we're looking at right now is you see how he's throwing guys around. That's the kind of thing where I'm thinking, I know there's talks about injections and all of that stuff, but he looks to be moving pretty well. He looks to be moving pretty good. I like it. I'm optimistic about it. And I know for the Green Bay Packers in that division where you're going to have Jared Goff, you're going to have J.J. McCarthy, you're going to have Caleb Williams, you're going to need to get to the quarterback. It's going to be an offensive run division. And for the Green Bay Packers to get Micah Parsons, I think that's a great thing. It's just watch out for that back.
Well, the knee-jerk reaction on the internet is, oh, my gosh, Jerry just fried the Packers and sold them like a lemon, like it's a car that doesn't work. There are checks and balances in place when you trade for someone for it to become official and you bring in, there's physicals and there's all this examinations, right? So the Packers, very well-run organization, can't be sitting here today and be like, what? I didn't know. That's not how you run an organization. That doesn't go down that way, right?
Yeah, you're not buying the car off a Facebook Marketplace, you know what I mean? It's like you're not showing up at somebody's driveway and be like, oh, I like that Ferrari, let me just grab it. Like you're getting it from a dealership. There's some professionalism.
It's not a great headline. I don't want to have an epidural in what I just traded a player and 2 picks for and is supposed to take us to the Super Bowl this year. But I think the Micah Parsons thing, injury aside, as we see him exploding against the blocking pad, and hopefully he'll do that for the Packers' sake this weekend, how much does this trade affect what we're doing today on the show? So today on the show, we're making our playoff picks. It's prediction week. We're going to pick 14 playoff teams that we think will be in the postseason. Micah, for me, personally, has changed multiple picks. Like, you maybe had the Cowboys in and took them out. You maybe had the Packers out and put them in. But that's the simple way. Do you look at that move as having so much impact that, it affects how you think of the Bears and the Vikings and all the teams in the NFC North, the Lions? They have 2 very young quarterbacks in the NFC North. I'll just make it specifically about the Bears. If you ask any Bears fan who lives and breathes the 2025 Chicago Bears, their one concern is we have left tackle problems. And we have not been able to land on a guy we're confident in. All our offensive line is fine, all our weapons, but there's that one problem, which is it's a big problem. Yeah. And so it was maybe you could manage it, and then arguably the most talented pass rusher in the NFL comes in, you play him at least twice. That's not great. Yeah. So it's such a big trade that it's more than just about the Cowboys and Packers. It could impact how you think about other teams' chances of getting in the playoffs.
I do love how what goes hand in hand with having a young quarterback on your team, if you're the Bears or if you're the Vikings, is people really care in the offseason in terms of free agency, what moves the offensive line made. And the Vikings did significantly invest in their offensive line on behalf of J.J. McCarthy. And for speaking on behalf of Vikings fans, a.k.a. people in my family, there was real concern for J.J. McCarthy and the fetal position he may be lying in with Micah Parsons now coming off the edge. I do wonder, as it pertains to week 1, with Parsons, how badly the Packers need this, because the schedule makers didn't mess around with this one, because the Packers have the Lions. And if you want to create a definition of what the Lions want to look like within the division, or the Packers, you really have to make a stgoing on Sunday afternoon.
Yeah, I mean, you think about it, Micah Parsons is an elite pass rusher, right? Yeah. But I think when you consider the NFC North and their identity, they're going to run the ball. Like you talk about Dan Campbell and the Lions and the Sonic, and they're going to run the ball. I think Ben Johnson, we've been so accustomed to all of these trick plays. He wants to run.
No, they're
going to run the ball. I mean, and you talk about the Minnesota Vikings, one of the best acquisitions, I think, was Jordan Mason from the San Francisco 49ers. He's going to run the ball. So when you factor all of that stuff in, Josh Jacobs from the Green Bay Packers, yes, it has a lot of great quarterbacks, but I think their identity sticks with the run.
Can I tee you guys up on something? We were having a conversation about the NFC quarterbacks on this show, and we had 6 of them, half a dozen on each side. And I'm just going to explain this to everybody verbally who's watching us on Roku. We had in the conversation for 6 NFC quarterbacks. We had Jalen Hurts, Matthew Stafford, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield, Dak Prescott, and Jaden Daniels. And so we had different questions about those 6 guys. Again, Hurts, Stafford, Goff.
I know where you're going, Jamie.
Daniels. Why weren't we talking about Jordan Love?
Yeah.
Where was Jordan Love on this? I even asked for a 7th, and we both looked at each other and thought, Brock Purdy.
Yep.
Yes.
Not one of us even uttered or whispered the name Jordan Love, and I'm just wondering what that means about that G on the bottom of the screen. Isn't that fascinating?
Yeah, it's a what have you done for me lately? I don't think 2024 was a great season for Jordan Love. The year prior, he has his ascension, and he goes and they wax Dallas, and then it was like, oh my God, Jordan Love's got next. They did it. Favre brought Jordan Love. There was a little bit of, hold on a second, the Great League Corso, not so fast, my friend. There was a little bit of that. And now, that's not to say that Jordan Love fell on his face last year, but I don't think he looked like a NFC superstar yet. Yeah. So the guys up there, like we have Goff and Stafford and Hurts, these guys have done big things. They've all at least started a Super Bowl, and 2 of them have won it. So listen, Jordan Love, that's like now they went from being a pretty good-looking team this year to a Super Bowl contender because of the Parsons trade. And a lot of people, you're going to see it this week, maybe it'll be us, will say I have the Packers winning the NFC. Yeah. So that means a belief in Jordan Love, and some graphic that we put up on September 2nd is going to be irrelevant. But I think right now we got it right. What guy would you take off of that list you mentioned, Jamie, including Brock Purdy, who has started 2 Super Bowls, or started 2 title games and 1 Super Bowl? I think it's all right.
Could we say that the Jordan Love quote-unquote disrespect, whatever we want to call it, could be because of this narrative that they don't have a wide receiver 1? Could that be, right? They go out in the first round and they draft Matthew Golden out of Texas. Yep. Like, could that be that we don't really give him that nod because he never had a wide receiver 1? And they signed Josh Jacobs last year. Josh Jacobs, we know, he's going to run the ball. He's an old-school bruiser. He's going to get the yards after contact. Could it be that because he came over there was a little shift between him, Tucker Kraft leading the NFL in yards after contact? Like, could it be that that's the reason why we didn't include Jordan Love?